Talk about Hitchcock with you week after week. You know that.
Okay, tomorrow the movie is Blackmail, 1929. So it's right on the cusp of when silent movies are dying and sound movies are taking over. And there's no movie more on the cusp than Blackmail, which actually starts as a silent production. And basically they had finished a silent film when the producer came in and said, we got to do this with sound. So they basically remade it with sound. So there was actually a silent version out there and a sound version out there. I suspect you're showing the sound version, but I don't know what you're showing. But both of them are out there. I think the sound version is easier to get, so my guess is that's what you're showing.
I don't know.
Okay.
Is the answer.
Sound or silent? This has the longest Hitchcock cameo of any Hitchcock movie. It occurs about 10 minutes into the movie and lasts about 20 seconds, which is long for a Hitchcock cameo. And for those who aren't paying close enough attention, he is a passenger on the London Underground, what we would call a subway, and he is being pestered by a boy while he reads a newspaper, and he tries to get the kid off his back. So that goes on for about 20 seconds. You can't miss him if you see that coming, and it's only 10 minutes into the film. Let's see, there won't be too many people you know in this film. This has a British cast. The only person I think that people my age would recognize their name is Sara Richard, who was Captain Hook in the Mary Martin Peter Pan.
Oh, whoa.
And if you grew up in the 50s like I did, that was kind of a perennial special.
It was like The Wizard of Oz and Peter Pan year after year. You'd wait for those two.
Yes.
Am I wrong?
You're very close to being right. Peter Pan wasn't on every year, but it was on almost every year. And actually, if you watched it every year, you saw 3 different productions, because in 1955 was the first year. That was done live, and they taped it, but it was done live. And I think in 1956, they did it again live. Again, they taped it. And 1960 was played as a tape, and I think that's the one that is easiest to get these days. And each version is a little different, and if you watch all 3 versions, you'll see Mary Martin and Sara Richard as Peter Pan and Captain Hook are always the same. But of course, the kids are getting older, so the kids change. So Sara Richard is in there very early. I'm not giving up too much away to say he dies early in the movie, so he's a young man. So for people that remember Peter Pan, Mary Martin's Peter Pan, you keep an eye out for Sara Richard. Let's see. Hitchcock is kind of playful, and there is one scene where the characters are speaking, but the shadows from the whatever caused the shadows in the scene are casting dark strips over their lips, and that was kind of his saying, "Silence is gone. This is a farewell to silence." That's what he intended it as. And I think on the most common video version, the DVD that's most easy to find on the stands, you actually see that there's 2 characters on the cover, and one of them the dark strip is just below the lower lip of one of the characters, and on the other character the dark strip is right across the shadow. And you could easily just say, okay, it's a shadow on a scene, but that was Hitchcock's homage to silent movies, saying this is it. He accepted that silent movies were dying, which was pretty much the case in 1929. Even though this movie saw both the silent and the sound version in the theaters, and the silent version actually made more money because not that many movies had been wired for sound yet, so there weren't that many theaters that could play sound films yet. So they still needed silent versions of all movies to show them. When he filmed the silent version, nobody cares about how the actors sound because you can't hear them. But his leading lady was Czechoslovakian, and she had a thick German Czech accent. And when they did the sound version, it just wasn't working, but dubbing had not been perfected yet. So, again, I'm pretty sure you're showing a sound version tomorrow night. The actress who plays that part is just mouthing her words, and another actress is just off camera. And as the camera moves, she follows them around. But you'd never see her, but she is saying the words that the other actress is mouthing. So if you pay attention, you can see here and there a slight mismatch of lip movements with sound.
That was our co-host Lisa doing back then in 1929. She was doing the sound. It was her voice.
Oh, that was me. Oh, absolutely.
Hey, well maybe. And for those who don't love trivia, the Czech actress was named Annie Undra, and of course the coming of sound ruined her sound career, so she went back to Germany and she married the former heavyweight champion of the world, Max Schmeling, and I think they were married for the rest of their lives, so that had a happy ending there.
That's good trivia. I like that.
All right.
Yes.
And this is also the first movie where Hitchcock uses a national landmark for a scene. Now, if you watch latter-day Hitchcock movies, they're all over the place. Mount Rushmore is in North by Northwest, and the Golden Gate Bridge is in Vertigo, and so on and so on. The Statue of Liberty is in Sabotage, which is a movie you've shown. And here there's a key scene that takes place in the British Museum. And Hitchcock liked the audience reaction to that, since it was even people that hadn't never been to the British Museum knew it was a landmark, and he liked that. So in his future movies, he would weave that in wherever he could.
And that's our show for tonight.
Okay.
Thank you.
I'll talk to you next week, Joe. Bye-bye.
Bye. Frank Delastrito, was that fun?
That was
Yeah,
very
that
fun.
was great.
Yeah.
That was great trivia too as well.
I met Hitchcock for Frenzy. I have photos.
Oh my
An
God.
autograph.
Wow.
You got to bring him on.
Yeah, we'll bring the photos of Hitchcock on. We've got 15. John Fannin, thank you.
My pleasure.
It's great
New
to
album?
meet you. Wonderful to
Nice
meet
to meet
you.
you. New
album
I've
is
got to come
called-
see your show.
Thank you.
The new album.
It's saved all the pieces and go to
I know.
johnfannin.com.
And Lisa Kavanaugh.
Back.
You'll be seeing Lisa more. Thank you, Jeff Dearman. Thank you, Judy Kellerman. Thank you. Good night.
Good night.